I'm outside in the boonies. Uh, uh, I wanted to talk about perspective. I want to talk about because we're in political season right now. There's people who don't want to vote at all. There's people who want to vote for Trump. There's people who want to vote for Harris. There's people that have these strong views about different policies. Um, strong views about there's debates between religious people and non-religious people about how to live your life, and you can't tell me this, you can't tell me that, and you don't live like this way and you ain't following this part of the Bible. And there's different arguments between I think that's deer poop. Yeah, I'm in the boonies for real. All right. There's different people that argue about in different religions that argue about which book is telling the truth and different things of that nature. And then, of course, we got the whole abortion argument, the pro-life, pro-choice. Uh, but first, I want to break it. I want to break this live down into three parts, so I can make sure I stay on topic because I didn't write any notes down and anything of that nature. So, um, this first part is going to be lifestyle. So, lifestyle. Most people will argue that this is um, you want to live. Most people want to live their lives the way that they want to live it. I think um, that's a fair statement. If somebody walk up to you and say, "Oh, you need to live your life this way," then you can't. Who are you to tell me what to do with my life? You know what I'm saying? And one of the biggest issues about people telling people how to live their life is the whole um, Christianity versus homosexuality debates that's been happening for ages now. Um, but I have a few questions about just that whole argument in general. So, a lot of times when, like, I see some street preachers, I see other people, or they might wear a Jesus shirt or something. They may wear some type of shirt or have a sign, and then the person might walk up and rip up the sign or spit on the person or something. Basically, um, something that if the other person did to them, it'll be kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? So, my thing is, whenever somebody's trying to tell you to live your life a certain way, and you are basically the moral high ground of your own life. You're the author of your own life. You're the narrator. You're the main character. You're the person that I got somebody from Russia here. Sweet. I think that's Russia. Apologize if I mess up the flag. Uh, Actually, I think I did mess up the flag. I think that's. But anyways, what am I about to say? If you're the author of your own life and you're the narrator, the main character, why does it matter if somebody brings a book up to you and say these are the codes of how you should live your life? Um, it's like saying, oh, you know how some people, like for me, I'm a pro wrestling fan, and a lot of people judge me about being a pro wrestling fan, and they're like, it's fake, right? Da, da, da. And I used to get real mad about that. I used to be like, well, it's real to me, that never is. but but there's certain aspects I studied it, I learned different things about what they do, and there's a lot of aspects to professional wrestling that it may not be like a legit fight, like I'm going to try to hurt you, you're going to try to hurt me, but they get messed up in those rings every time. They be leaving with bruises and scars. Those ropes hurt. That mat they take bumps on hurt. Sometimes they land stiff shots on each other. Sometimes they work a little snug and rough. There's a lot of things that happens. But the main thing is, if you believe that somebody's opinion, like if you disagree with somebody's opinion, I had 10 people on here and then dropped the five and then everybody left. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Um, or maybe I do because I mentioned it. But anyway, I had to call myself out on that. But anyways, why do you worry so much about other people's opinion if you know you disagree with it? For example, if somebody walk up to me and say, "Man, you ugly," if I don't think I'm ugly, I'm like, okay. If you think I'm ugly, cool. I remember one of the times that I proven that to myself, where I was in high school. One of my homeboys had this attractive girl in his class. I never seen the girl, and she was probably a baddie. I don't know, but we was at the lunch table, and the reason he was about to say this is because I used to do film classes. We used to do like announcements, and we had TVs all over the school. And I was a part of the class where we'll make news podcasts or news clips, and then every now and then we'll do put out comedy sketches and stuff like that. So I guess one of the girls in his class saw me and vocalized that she did not find me aesthetically pleasing. So, and then my friend told me that. And this was one of the proudest moments of my childhood because I actually had some self respect. And I was like, cool. So that's how I think a lot of us should treat these difference of opinions, at least when it comes to lifestyle choices. When it comes to, if you're a homosexual, you're sinning and you're going to burn in hell, or whatever the case may be, or if you're trans or different things. If you do not believe in that, if you don't believe that's true, and you think God is a sky daddy, or if you think God is fake or doesn't exist, and somebody's walking up to you and telling you that you're going to a place that you don't believe exists, why get mad about it? Why waste your energy getting mad about that? Why waste your time getting so upset and flustered about it? And I know some of you might be like, "Well, they saying hurtful things, or they being disrespectful, or they tell me how to live." No, they can't make you change how you live your life. If you grew up and you felt like you was in the wrong body, or if you grew up believing that your soulmate is somebody who's the same gender as you, they cannot stop you from doing that. They can't stop you. So why give your energy and frustration? Why try to fight somebody? Why try to tear up property? Why try to do all these different things if that stuff isn't true? If that stuff ain't real, if you believe that stuff ain't real, that's like me walking up to you and telling you about Santa Claus, and I'm giving some poor examples, forgive me, but that's like me walking up to you and trying to make you live your life based on how Santa Claus wants you to live your life. And it's like, Santa ain't real. It, hey, I put on here that this ain't for kids, so if you got a kid watching this, that's on you. I ain't taking responsibility on that. Um, but that's the thing where a lot of times we put so much energy, and then most of the people that be telling us these opinions, we don't even really care about personally. A lot of these people aren't people you know. Like some people might be your closest friends, and they may disagree with your lifestyle, but there's people. I'm in an interracial marriage. There's people who don't think I should be in an interracial marriage. And there's people like they may not tell that to me in my face, but you know, but at the end of the day, as long as you ain't trying to put hands on me, I ain't tripping. So you can say what you want. Yeah, you might catch me on an off day because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't let words bother me at all. But a lot of times we are giving people power and dominion over our lives by letting what they say affect us. And trust me, I was a grade A affectee. I used to let everything bother me. I used to be Crybaby McGee when I was a kid. Rage monster. Slamming people against lockers. Well, not people. It was one person in particular. But it was, but but as I grown older, I realized that there's a lot of times when people are saying things to you, it sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes it's about that person, and sometimes people have a particular belief in, like, there's different things in the Bible that teaches Christians. And yes, I'm a Christian, just so we don't get certain things confused. Potential spam comment. Um, but I understand that there's a lot of different nuances and things that I don't understand about life, and a lot of things I don't have necessary proof, and there's a lot of things I haven't studied yet. But what the Bible teaches a lot of Christians is, we have to change our ways from ourselves. Like, if we have certain implications of how we view life, to change, turn away from those things which could be considered sin and turn towards God, and then let God be known by the people. So part of what people are doing is they are trying to evangelize to you. And some people are doing it in an improper fashion, and then some people are taking some type of accountability for what they say and do. And a lot of times, I think the reason a lot of people get upset about people trying to tell you how to live your life is maybe there might be some truth to it. Because a lot of times when we know something has no power, when we know something don't have no real effect on us, we do not respond. Because there's, for example, um, when I was in high school, I was about 135 pounds. If somebody walked up to me and said I'm fat, I would laugh. I'd be, people think I don't eat, and you saying I'm fat? I would be joking about that all day long. I would be laughing. But a lot of times, people say that God's not real and all this other stuff ain't real. But then when people start preaching the gospel or evangelizing, they get up in arms and they get so angry. So my thing is, if you don't believe that stuff to be real, why get so emotional about it? If you truly believe the way you want to live your life is the way you're supposed to live your life, and if you are the head honcho of your life, if you're the author, nobody can tell you what to do, nobody is above you, then stand on 10 toes. Stand 10 toes down and don't trip about it. Don't let these Christians or these other people fluster you. If you disagree, be like, hey, I disagree. I don't believe in that. Deuces. And move on with your day. You don't need to fight. You don't need to curse. You don't need to yell. You don't need to scream. If you feel like you got to do all that, then maybe you might be believing in what he's saying. That's one of the things, is a lot of these opinions, I think we sold so much of our identity in these opinions. And I remember I was listening to something earlier, and a lot of people, when they ask, who are you? They start listing their job title, their marital status, parental status, different things that happen. But the thing is, the thing about tying your identity into what you do or labels that you have, if those things go away, then what are you? Because my identity, since I'm a Christian, my identity is devised and authored through Christ. So And for me, there's a lot of evidence that prove that Christ is real and God is real. So there's no way that I will crumble with that. But if my identity, like right now, I'm a delivery driver. If I say, oh, I'm a delivery driver, that's what I am, and then I get fired, my identity is shattered. I'm a husband. But if my wife say, hey, this ain't gonna work out, I want out, I would be devastated. I'd be crumbled if my identity is solely in my marriage. I'm a father. But if my identity is solely in being a parent, if my daughters don't want anything to do with me, or something happened to them, Lord forbid, then my identity is crumbled. And then I won't be able to proceed forward with my life. I won't be able to make different decisions, take on different tasks, and do different things. So I think a lot of time is your gender, your sexual orientation, and your religion, your political beliefs. All these things are not your identity. They are not your identity. They are something that you um, invest in. There's things that you might tie into your life, but they're not your identity because you are more than who you are interested in being with. You are more than what you look like. The whole saying, looks can be deceiving. There's plenty of people that look like good people that are evil or considered evil by different people's standards, and there's plenty of people that look evil but maybe some of the nicest, kindest people on the planet. Like the people who covered in tattoos from head to toe, they some of the coolest people I ever met. But then they look like they can, they look like they jack you up for a tuna sandwich. My bad, y'all probably like a better sandwich than tuna, but but I've been all over the place with what I'm saying. But the main thing of what I'm talking about is, at the end of the day, a lot of people may believe our beliefs are facts, but at this point in time, since there's so many different perspectives, there's so many different people that have all these different ideals. Whether you are atheist, agnostic, whether you are a certain religion, whether you are bisexual, homosexual, transsexual, my bad, transgender. I'm looking like an uncle. I am somebody's uncle, but I'm getting that old black man. What is the thing with those people and the thing? The trans what? The transmorphers? No, I'm sounding old and mud. But apologies. I don't hope nobody took offense to that. But if you did, you know, I can't control how you feel. I can't argue with how you feel. But but the main thing is, if somebody has a different opinion about your life and you don't agree with that opinion, stop giving energy to that. Stop. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting your peace of mind. If you are the author of your happiness, if somebody don't agree with your lifestyle, be like, cool. I'm still gonna live my life how I want to live it. And then boom, you know how much time you just save just doing that? Sometimes you don't even have to acknowledge it. And somebody say, hey, you're sinning. And you don't believe in sin, you can just go and then walk off. Sometimes you don't even have to look and do the eyebrow thing. Sometimes you could just act like you ain't hear them and keep walking. Then if they chase you down and start messing with you, now it's more okay. Now you're harassing me. What's up, Pierce? Pierce the Fierce. Um, but that's the main thing is I just don't see a point in a lot of these debates that we be having because unless I like it, I don't think it's bad. Um, but if you're genuinely trying to understand other people's viewpoints and you having ethical and conversation with decorum to really flesh out each other's viewpoints, then yes, you can have those conversations. But if it's you feel like the other person is wrong, no matter what they say, and they feel like you're wrong, or no matter what you say, Okay, I heard your point of view. I disagree. Boom, I'm out. And then y'all save so much time. Even if you on those college campuses and you see a street preacher and he's on the microphone or she's on the microphone talking about stuff, if you don't agree, you don't need to stop and flip them off and then walk off. Just keep doing your day. Just keep going. You you wasting time. And then now, your love is love argument is sounding kind of shaky because then we have to go into the definition. Well, what's love to you? What does love mean? Because what I'm under the impression of what love means is love is long suffering. Love don't keep record of right and wrongs. Love don't boast in failures and brag about different stuff. Love is more of a compassionate, protective decision that you make every day with the people in your life, or even with strangers. Love is something that, just because somebody do something to you don't mean you got to retaliate. Love is something where it's, if you really want to make the world a better place, you be the example. And that's a lot of responsibility, but that's life. Sometimes, in order to see change, you have to make the change. You can't always wait for other people to do stuff. So, if love is just love, then we have to start defining what love actually means. Because it's love. Because a lot of times, with people in that mind frame, when they say love is love, the moment you disagree with them, now you're basically a dead man. Now you're basically, you don't deserve life. You don't deserve this, and everything that can happen should happen to you. And I don't think that's love. Now, if you want to love somebody of the same gender or a different gender or polyamorous, or if you want to change genders and love somebody else of this, whatever your dynamic of your life is, you are the author of your own life. I can't tell you what to do with your life. I'm not going to sit here and say you're sinning. Yes, under the Christian belief, yes, you are, and I have my own sins that some I overcame, some I'm still dealing with, and some leak back in. Some sins I don't even know I'm committing, but as I do more research, I'm like, oh, that was a sin. Okay, and then I have to make changes and I have to turn away from it. But at the end of the day, even me, if I say something and you disagree, don't waste your time arguing with me. Don't waste your energy. Don't be calling me names or whatever the case may be. Just move on with your life. You will see how peaceful your life will be when you just don't let things bother you. And I know it's easier said than done, but a lot of times, and I've definitely been guilty of this. I've definitely been guilty of this. When somebody says something to you, and let's say you arguing with somebody, and then y'all each go, fine, fine, cool, cool, cool. That's both of y'all egos. If you truly want to stop arguing, just stop arguing and leave. Walk out the room, walk out the house, do whatever. What happens is the right of way argument, and I call it the right of way argument. Is a lot of times in traffic when you're driving, and let's say there's a 4-stop intersection, and they get there around the same time, but it's kind of clear. It's sort of clear who got there first. So then the person that got there first starts to go, but then the other person don't feel like waiting, so they floor it on the gas. The person that has the right of way sees that the person's about to run the sign and does not make an adjustment because they just like, hey, I have the right of way, I should go first. And then the accident happens. So now, because neither one of y'all wanted to yield or do the right thing, an accident happened. Instead of one person going, maybe I should stop my vehicle because I actually do have enough time to stop so this person can fly by and then I can go after that. It's the same way in marriages and relationships and debates in a lot of different scenarios. It's a lot of time we want our cake, as my sister said one time, you want your cake. She didn't say that to me. She said that about somebody we was talking about. But you want your cake. Um, you want to have your cake. You want to eat it too, and then you want to sell it. See, that was a bar right there, sis. Um, there's a lot of times where a lot of people make certain mistakes, realize they in the wrong, but are too prideful and egotistical to just admit that they was wrong and just make adjustments. And then there's a lot of people who are in the right that are so focused on being right, they value being right over everything else. They value being right over peace. They value being right over other things. And then you have failed friendships, failed marriages, unnecessary bar fights, and all these other different things that happen. And then your car insurance and all this other stuff goes up. Next thing you know, you got all these problems, and everybody's a hater, and I'm just being real, and all this other stuff. And it's like, nah, it's y'all, y'all just don't want to look weak. But by being afraid of looking weak, you end up looking pathetic. So if a lot of people can put their pride to the side and just realize a lot of these arguments, a lot of these fights that we have with other people is not worth our time. And if we truly believe we want to live our life a certain way, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. We are choosing to live our life a certain way. Therefore, if somebody disagrees, just be like, cool, keep pushing. And I guarantee you, about at least 30% of your stress gone right there. At least 30. Could be 60%. Sometimes that could be your main stress. You could be one of those people who are obsessed with what people think about you. And the moment you decide, I am who I am, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and you can't tell me otherwise, guess what? That stress, you basically be levitating all over the world. You won't even need a car. You just be floating. So, I don't know why I actually got on my tiptoes when y'all can't see my whole body. Um, so yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up this portion of it and I'm gonna get into the next topic is at the end of the day, we all have opinions and a lot of those opinions, a lot of those perspectives will conflict. And instead of wasting time trying to argue, fight, spit, condemn, and all this other stuff, just believe what you believe. And then if you find yourself getting upset about something somebody say when it pertains to your lifestyle, maybe you might need to reflect more on what your lifestyle actually means and define what your lifestyle truly means, and then go from there. So, topic number 2. I don't even think I had that topic. I think I just said that to try to trick myself into staying on topic. Um, Actually, I'm gonna loosely talk about this. So, Christians versus Halloween. Now, I'm not fully educated on everything, but this is another one where it's a lot of facts mixed with opinions. So there's some Christians who are against Halloween as a whole, and they think that if you dress up as a Power Ranger, you're inviting demons into your home, inviting demons into your spirit. Um, I just think y'all need to do more research on that, because walking around the neighborhood asking for candy and dressing up as a cartoon character, I don't think invite that's is one of those things where I just don't think that's true. But maybe I could do more research. I've been watching videos on this topic, and maybe I can read books and other stuff. But I think the main thing is how you're viewing Halloween and are you actually idolizing aspects of Halloween. I think as a Christian, if you are idolizing certain aspects and you're celebrating a being or you're celebrating certain things or watching particular images or taking part of certain rituals that are like Ouija boards and all this other stuff, if you're doing stuff of that nature where you're inviting the undead, inviting all that, that's where you are getting into the demon territory. But I think having your kids dress up as their favorite cartoon character and just walk around the neighborhood asking, saying trick or treat for some candy, and the person's like, "Oh, hey, look at y'all looking so cute. Here's some candy." Y'all gonna have to show me more evidence of that being inviting demons. And then I seen one person talk about how, you're changing your identity for it. And it's like, no, you're not changing your identity. You're dressing up as a character. It's the same as being an actor in a movie. It's the same as because now it's the same as being somebody in a play. Like we all know you're you, but we're telling a story. Like the kid is living their imagination, and kids, I love kids' imaginations. Like they come up with so many incredible things, especially my daughters. They come up with so many incredible things and create these stories and these lores and different things. I said lore, Lore, like basically, and so many great things about that. And basically, from what I'm taking from people's argument is you can't be an actor, you can't be in plays, and you can't dress up as anybody else. You have to look like you at 24/7 because then you're inviting demons. Because because a lot of these arguments people have about different stuff, you're going into you're not actually thinking about the implication of your argument. You're opening up doors to cancel so many other things that are similar to that. And most of the time, y'all are only trying to cancel one thing. But when you're saying certain statements, you're involving more categories than what you believe you're insinuating. So I think dressing up as your favorite TV show character. Now it's different if you're dressing up like a demon or if you're dressing up like these scary beings. Then that I can kind of give you that maybe. But when it's when your kid want to dress up as Power Rangers or a Disney princess or something of that nature, I don't see. You have to show me some proof that that's what it is, that's what's going on. So I truly just don't believe that the whole aspect of dressing up and getting candy is celebrating demons and inviting them to your home. That aspect alone, no. Now, there's other aspects of Halloween that, as Christians and other religious people, we have to be very wary of to um, not get into certain things to where we are venturing to that type of territory. But just the soul, dress up, get candy, spend quality time with your kids and your family. You have to show me more proof that you're summoning demons and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, we're gonna get into the last topic of this video, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to talk specifically to people who are married, people who are thinking about getting married, and people who may be in a tough session of their marriage where they're either separated, on the verge of divorce, or um, different things of that nature. Here are some tips that can really help you keep your marriage strong, especially if you are in a position where both people are focused on making the marriage work. If one person's done then use this advice for your next marriage. So I'm gonna at least try to give you 5. Number 1, keep people out of your marriage. Keep them out. Keep them out. Don't be talking to your mama about your wife or your husband. Don't be talking to your daddy about your spouse. Don't be talking to your friends, your co-workers, because all you doing when every time your spouse do something you don't like and you go complaining to them about it, you are building an army against your spouse. Then, if y'all do reconcile, you still have an army behind you against your spouse. And now your spouse is always going to feel like they're not welcome in any of your other groups, and your spouse is going to feel like they're going to get replaced, or that they have to be on their best behavior, or one false move and they're done for, or different things of that nature. Is then you also messing up other relationships. You're messing up your mutual friendships. You're messing up um, your relationship between your parents, like your spouse parents and your parents. And now, because most people are going to pick your side when it comes to a potential divorce, you will have to do something egregious, absolutely egregious, for them to not take your side. Even if you wrong in the matter, they are not going to take your spouse's side, because it's that undying loyalty. So the main thing is, if you are in a marriage or thinking about getting married, and you still are in a pretty good position to keep your marriage strong and healthy, or make it strong and healthy, one tip is, if you gotta vent or talk about your spouse or something, therapy or a marriage counselor, do it there. Or set up a healthy form of communication between y'all two. Y'all come up with the rules and regulations of how to talk to each other. Even if y'all gotta make your own little court, like marriage court inside your house, and y'all gotta set up rules. Or if you gotta lay down on y'all stomachs and talk to each other, whatever y'all gotta do. But y'all problems need to be fixed between the two of you. I'm mainly talking about two people marriage. I don't know about the other types. Like the polygamy marriages and stuff like that. I don't know nothing about that. But I'm gonna walk over here because I'm hearing barking, and if neighbor's dog run up on me, they're gonna have problems. Um, but if I was you, I'd stay over there, but he don't come over here. They don't want the smoke. But anyways, what's my call it? What was I at? Yeah, mainly only have absolutely wise counsel that will question what you're saying, get you to change your perspective, and help the marriage stay healthy and grow. Number 2, um, prioritize your spouse or your partner, and I was going to sit on this, but prioritize your spouse or your partner. And there was a code thing with this one. I've forgotten, but I'm getting distracted by the different noises and stuff. Prioritize your spouse and partner, and remember that you two are supposed to be a unit. what usually happens is we get so wrapped up in either making the marriage our identity to where we end up resenting the fact that we're in unit, or we become so individualistic where it's like it's me, 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 and then we talk about the marriage after everything I want gets done. When y'all remember that y'all are a unit, for example, our bodies ain't gonna work right if my lungs is out. My body ain't gonna work right if my heart is out. So in a marriage, the marriage is the body. It is the foundation of the family. Well, not necessarily the foundation of it, but marriage is the combination of the family where one person in the marriage plays a part, the other person in the marriage plays a part. And when y'all focus too much individually and y'all not doing your role for the marriage and something goes out, the marriage crumbles. Just like if I have a cardiac arrest or one of my lungs cave in, I'm going to have to get rushed to the hospital or it's finito for me. So I think when y'all remember that y'all a unit, when y'all say things, when y'all try to bring up issues at different things of that nature, you might be less defensive about what's being said. And y'all might be more willing to flush out the views and work through it and get to a healthier place. Number 3, manage your expectations. Manage them well. Because a lot of times we have all these lofty expectations, whether it's based off of what we grew up learning from friends, family, media, whatever the case may be. And a lot of times we don't communicate those expectations. And sometimes, here's the kicker, we may not even know we have these expectations. We may not even know. Because they're so ingrained in us, we don't pay attention, and then we end up building resentment when our partner or our spouse don't live up to them. And then we start losing respect. We start losing value in that person. We start losing all these different things about that person. And next thing you know, nobody can trust anybody. We thinking the worst about the other person, and all these different things happen. So manage your expectation. Find out the origin of the expectation. Find out the reason behind it, and break down why is it important to you. And then once you do all that, then bring it to your partner or your spouse and have a conversation about that. Because a lot of times as people just think, the thing is, marriage isn't really hard. It's not. It's the people in the marriage that make it hard. We are an instant gratification society. We are a me first society, not my problem society. And a lot of times we want things to fall into our favor instantaneously, and we don't want to. And the moment we have to put in work for something, the moment something don't go our way, now we ready to kick rocks. Now we ready. Oh, this ain't worth it. This ain't what I thought it was. Yeah, it wasn't what you thought it was because you didn't have a realistic view of marriage. That's one of the major reasons why a lot of marriages fail. It's not just the isolated incidents of cheating or no. You know what? Here's what I'm trying to say about that. And actually, that's going to go to my 4th point. But let me finish this up. But there's when you manage your expectations and you properly communicate them, and y'all have a real discussion about it, and y'all work towards different goals. Guess what? Your marriage will be healthier. Now, what I was trying to talk about in this last point number 4, is heal from your trauma. If you don't know you have any trauma, Put yourself in a stressful situation and let's see what comes out. And then you'll find out where your trauma comes from. Uh, Now, most people like to go to therapists to help sort out their trauma. Some people have activity groups, but you got to have a support system that help you work through your trauma. Whether it's a combination of therapy and a close friend group, or if you're like me, a men's Bible group, or whatever the case may be. If you're in recovery from drugs and alcohol, Anonymous and Addicts Anonymous and stuff like that. But you got to find some type of support system that helps you navigate through your trauma. As long as you have a healthy outlet for your emotions and you're able to break them down, understand where they're coming from, where they're derived from, and where the pain is um, flowing through, then you will be healthier as a person, not only in your marriage or partnership, romantic partnership, but your kids, your friends, your family, even at work, even if you work in a job you don't like. If you are in a better place mentally and emotionally, you're at least able to work through that job. And if you really aren't happy at that job, you can make a better plan of how to exit, where you can exit respectfully. Because the more you just up and quit jobs, basically up and quitting jobs is like having a poor dating record in the world. People gonna talk. So if your name comes up in a certain system, they're gonna say, "Hey, this person was always late. This person didn't work hard. This person was always a problem." But if you, and I know people hate the 2 weeks notice, I do too, but sometimes that's what you gotta do if you want to keep your credibility up. If you just up and quit and dip, and you have a history of just quitting and dipping, you ain't gonna really have a very good job finding career unless you are able to build your own business from the ground up doing something. But yes, your trauma, and a lot of times with your trauma, your partner, your spouse may inadvertently trigger certain things about it. But something I heard a while ago is you are responsible for your trigger, not your partner, not your spouse. You are responsible for your trigger. A lot of times we put the blame on them. Sometimes you are overly sensitive about things. Sometimes you are too concerned about getting hurt. Sometimes a lot of people are running from a pain that no longer exists because they haven't healed from that pain. So it that kind of was a weird statement. A lot of people are running from pain that already happened. Or let me change it this way. A lot of people are running from a monster that no longer exists. And what happened is, whenever there's something that remotely shows signs of that monster, you're ready to run. You're ready to book it. You're ready to do whatever it takes to protect yourself. And what happens is, by you doing that, you are now creating a barrier between you and the people that's supposed to be caring for you and taking care of you. Because you're so used to that pain, you're so used to that trauma, you're so used to dealing with so many things hurting you that that's why you got the man, I got a small circle type people, or man, only my day ones, or man, this, that, and the third, or man. And there's nothing wrong with having a small circle. A lot of times it is better to have a small circle. But a lot of times we are judging people because they slightly remind us of other people that hurt us. So now, instead of actually getting to know them to a degree and then like just setting up proper boundaries until you figure out if you want to engage with them or not, we just cut people off before we even get a chance to know them. And then the other person's supposed to be cool with you, because some people, y'all kind of rude with how y'all shut people off. And you're like, so, but I'm just protecting my mental health. No, you're being a jerk. You're being a jerk. You can set boundaries with people you don't know without being a jerk. That's the problem. A lot of people just think that once you're setting a boundary, that's it. Like, I set my boundary, boom. And if you disagree with my boundary, then you're a monster. It's like, no. There's a lot of people are good, are decent people. A lot of people out there are not out to get you. They're not out to hurt you. Just like you, they are trying to survive. And a lot of times we think that the boogeyman's coming to get us. The boogeyman is chilling on the couch. The boogeyman ain't worried about you. Boogeyman is eating his boogie-os and drinking his boogie milk and whatever he's doing. But sometimes I get a little outlandish. But yeah, but if you work through that trauma and you navigate through all that and you realize that most people are not trying to hurt you. Most people. There's still some people who just don't give a crap and they only concern about themselves. But most people just don't have the tools to navigate life in a particular manner. And we have, especially when it's marriage, when it pertains to marriage, we have to give each other grace and understand what the other person's coming from and not take everything so personally. But also, we have to be able to articulate certain things to that person so that the marriage and the relationship can stay healthy or become stronger. The last tip that I'm gonna say is enjoy your time with each other. Do things with each other that helps you stay in a healthy mindset towards each other, because the more y'all distance each other, the more y'all get too busy with work, the more y'all become strangers, the easier it is to disassociate with them and the easier it is to dehumanize them. The reason so many strangers can easily be rude to other strangers is because they do not mean anything to us in our personal lives. If you saw your if you have a healthy relationship with your parents and you saw your dad holding 6 boxes and he's struggling, he trying to get in the door, you're not gonna just sit there and let him just go, he'll figure it out. You ain't gonna do that. But a stranger, you see him with 6 boxes and he trying to get into the door, you might say, he'll figure it out. So to keep y'all from getting to that point, date nights. Also, just like after you put the kids to bed or something like that, spend an extra 30 minutes to an hour just talking, maybe playing a card game, maybe doing different things to where y'all are engaging with each other. And, you know, if y'all got enough time in the morning, wake up a little bit early in the morning and get it on. Get it on a little bit. Fellas, don't say I never did nothing for y'all. But ladies, there's some ladies who like morning action too. But the more y'all just enjoy being with each other, enjoying doing things with each other, when all these other issues come up, they're easier to navigate when y'all are doing things together. So, if you do these 5 things, I think the first one was keep people out of your marriage. The second one was, shoot, I should have wrote these down. But y'all can play it back. It was around the 40-minute mark. Um, like the 36 to 40-minute mark, somewhere around there. But keep people out of your marriage. I know another one was deal with your trauma, manage your expectations, enjoy spending time together, and realize, the other one, realize that y'all are a unit, that y'all are a team, y'all are a unit. One doesn't succeed without the other. Your wins are their wins are your wins. Y'all not in the competition with each other. Y'all on the same team. When y'all get dubs and victories over different things, y'all got it together as a partnership or as a marriage. So, um, so yeah. So I talked about a few things I want to get on here, and I want to clear my head of different stuff because um, this year, I don't know how this year is going to end for me because I have some personal things going on. I'm not going to touch on them on here because it's not appropriate for me to talk about it on here. But the people who know me personally knows what I'm going through. Maybe down the road, if I feel led to speak on certain things, I can talk about it. But I might not, no matter which way it goes, I might not talk about it at all. I might just let it go however it goes, and then just you know do something else with it. But I just want to let everybody know, if you are celebrating Halloween today, be safe, be courteous, be kind. If you're not celebrating Halloween, if you're not dressing up and getting candy or anything like that, be safe, be courteous, be kind. Um, if you are about to get married, engaged, married, um, somewhat, if you're separated, this could work for you too. It depends on the nature of your separation. Or if you somebody who's been married before and think about getting married again, you know, just take those 5 tips, and there's plenty of other tips that can help you um, win in your next or current marriage. And hopefully, it's not, if you are separated, hopefully it's not um, too broken to where it can't be repaired. Hopefully, y'all can repair things, but if it is, just take it on the chin. I know a lot of times it may seem like your world is ending, but especially if you got kids, your world isn't over because you still gotta live for your kids. You still gotta provide for your kids. You still gotta help them grow and become better people than you were. Um, so you can take all of your mistakes, learn from them, and help them learn from your mistakes so they don't have to make them. So whether or not you're celebrating Halloween, be safe, be kind, be courteous. If you are in a marriage, please enjoy each other on multiple facets, if you can. And if y'all have different political beliefs, different religious beliefs, whatever the case may be, stop wasting time being so angry and uptight about it. This, at the end of the day, they're perspectives. They're not your whole identity. At the end of the day, you still have other aspects to your relationship with people than you are leading on, or that you can actually experience, or whatever I was trying to say. Um, yeah. So yeah, I guess that's everything. So I got love for everybody. Um, if you need somebody to talk to, and you don't have a close friend, a family member, or a therapist, or somebody, and you want to reach out to a stranger that's non-judgmental, uh, I got time right now because I'm working on a few things, but I'm waiting for other things to happen so I can make my moves based off of other things. It's very tumultuous, convoluted era of my life right now. But um, yeah. So if you want to talk about your favorite celebrity, or I don't care what you're talking about. I like listening to people. So yeah, just DM me or message me or comment on this video, and whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna close it out because it's almost an hour. So no matter if you love me or hate me, life is still better, baby. Make it do what it do.